Welcome along, we are remixing Antix, La Lascade. In the last video we were fine-tuning the kick. We resampled the original, we threw it into a sampler and we gave it a little bit of noise and layered it with another kick to give it a bit of sub, just to make it a bit more brighter, a bit more poppy. And we did have a bassline placeholder, but it's definitely not what I want. So I'm going to be changing the bass today. But what we did do at the end of the last video is take these bongo samples, which were originally this, but we put them down 24 semitones. That's given me a cool idea for the bassline pattern. So I'm going to bring these back up to 0, and what I'm going to do is right click and we'll go, I'll tell you what, we can just use the extract groove here, which is here. So that's going to analyze it and take the groove, which is basically just going to give us a MIDI file with a bunch of notes with velocities in the rhythm of these bongos, because these are good transients. So Ableton Live will pick up each individual hit of the bongos. It will throw it into the groove pool, but that's okay because we can go up to our bass track, get rid of this monstrosity, and we can actually drag the groove into an empty MIDI track, and that will give us the pattern. So you can see this is the bongo pattern here, and we also have the velocities. So if I was to just solo this bass, and let's listen with the bongos. I have to bring the gain down because I brought it right up before. Let's have a listen with the bongos. Very good. Now if I was to extend these out a bit, so let's say that long, and if we applied the velocity to the cutoff, or the filter frequency, gave it heaps of amount, if we turn the envelope off, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and group this together, and we'll call this high. I'll probably replace this with something else, but let's just create, we'll drag another operator down here, and we'll call this the sub. Make sure we pick the right note, which of course is an E flat. There we go. On the high track we'll need to put an EQ8 to get rid of any low frequencies, and we'll change this to a shelf. Cut it off around 120. 120, there we go. Okay, so the sub has some release, which we don't want. Let's bring the high back in. We'll get rid of this. Oh, we need to let's get rid of the release on this as well. I'll tell you what, I'm going to use a plugin here. We'll go for Diva, which is one of my favorite plugins to use. Replace that operator with a Diva. Favorite plugins to use for bass. I usually go straight to the preset folder and find something I like and then tweak it. So because they're bass presets, it means they're already kind of set to -12 semitones. So let's go ahead and we'll just add a MIDI pitch here and bring them up 12 semitones. That's obviously not the best bass sound. That's quite cool. If we gave that a bit more, we could potentially turn the pitch off here. Nope. Let's make this envelope 1. Let's go velocity. Let's get rid of the sustain here. And let's give that a chorus. Bring the depth and the rate down. I'm going to bring this, I'm going to change this pole to a slower ramp, just so we have a little bit of the sub, and let's bring the sub in. Starting to get somewhere. Let's have a listen with the kick. And they work quite well with the bongos now. Same pattern. Let's have another look here. So what do we got? 1, 2 oscillators. What if we bring the noise up a bit? Let's make these more sore. Bring the noise down a bit. Now we can bring the envelope up a bit. Oh, let's do the reverse of the velocity. Nope. Let's bring this up an eighth. 2 eighths. It's kind of good. We can bring in this third oscillator. Tuning? No. So it's this beautiful little dance of playing with the envelope amount, the velocity amount. Of course, remember the velocity information is coming here from the clip that we exported, and the decay here. We can apply the velocity to this envelope as well. Let's get the kick back in. Brought the attack down there. Let's give it a plate reverb. Very good, kind of classic prog sound there. And of course we can automate any of these as we like in their actual track. So just moving that moving the envelope one and the decay together but in the opposite directions was quite fun. I want to see what happens if I actually map those to something. So let's open this up. Let's go configure. We'll grab the envelope one amount and the decay of the filter envelope, and let's map those to a single knob. And then we just have to set the right high and low values. So we want opposites for a start. So let's just aim for 64 in the middle. We want it to sound pretty neutral. Actually, let's have it at 0. We want it to sound quite neutral. So let's set the minimum and maximum values here. Okay, now let's bring it up. Okay, let's play with these a bit. Let's bring this down. And this up. One more. Let's configure the velocity. Let's assign that to the same knob. Let's see what we can get with that. Okay, so on the 0 value we want okay, now that's fully up, we can bring this down. And let's just do one more thing here. This chorus is still a bit too much. Let's just have one quick look in this clip here. So some of these aren't quantized properly. See, they're all over the show. So what I'll do is I'll select them all, Control U to quantize them to 16th notes. And then let's go ahead and get a groove. Let's just go for standard. Where are my grooves at? Cool library grooves. We'll just go swing, basic. 16ths. We'll just go 64. Drag that onto the clip. We'll listen without it first. So that's completely quantized. So everything's really computerized. But if we drag this on, it's a little bit too much. So let's replace that with 59. Okay, that's still subject to change, but I'm happy with that. I will see you tomorrow.